Welcome to another edition of the Unsexy Businessmen podcast, where we talk about all things small businesses and entrepreneurship. As always, I am joined by my brother Aaron Skinner, and I am Alex Skinner. And today we are talking about something really, really scary, super scary. Everyone be scared. Job report data just came out. And layoffs in January were the highest to start the year since 2009. What does this mean? It means that tech, the biggest losses were coming from the tech sector, as well as transportation. Services and healthcare are remaining comparatively stable, though. So we're seeing a lot of layoffs that happen in transportation and tech. And Aaron, why do you think that is?
I wonder why there'd be so many layoffs in tech nowadays. Oh, I don't know. Maybe some intelligence that's artificial. I think this is like no surprise to anyone, right? Like we definitely knew this was going to happen. And not only that, but continue to happen as I don't know if you hear this, Alex. I keep hearing the AI bubble's going to burst here really soon, but all that seems to be bursting are people's jobs. And I get it. I think we talked about this in I don't know which podcast it was, where AI isn't perfect. I saw some quote with someone called AI almost intelligent, was what AI stands for. Where it's kind of true. There are times when you're using ChatGPT or Gemini and you ask it to do something and it's not even close to what you really wanted it to do, and that didn't work. But you want to know what? Put a car that was built in 1930 compared to a car that was built in 2026. Like, I think it's just going to keep getting better and better and better. I could be wrong, but I think that's what we're heading towards. And so that's what we're seeing. We're seeing these jobs, especially in the tech industry, as AI gets smarter and figures things out, that these people are just going to be losing their jobs. Because what does every business want to do? Make as much money as possible, be as profitable as possible. So if they can replace your job with artificial intelligence, like why wouldn't they? The weird thing for me though is like you said the transportation one. Do you think is that like the autonomous taxis, or
I guess
like
autonomous
trucking?
Trucking and things like that as well. I'd have to do a little bit more digging into the transportation.
I wonder how much, because I know that I know, like, not Tesla, maybe it was Tesla. They were coming out with an autonomous like semi truck, but I didn't know that it like already been implemented. Maybe it has.
So the main thing from transportation was that UPS cut 30,000 jobs. I would have to do a little bit more research on this, but from the articles that I was reading, it did seem like that was coming from missing their revenue goals that they're trying to hit. And then one thing that happens with layoffs sometimes is when you work for a publicly traded company, you lay people off. You lay 30,000 people off. They make on average $100,000 each. That's a $30 or $300 million amount of money that you just saved by cutting the jobs. So now your numbers look really, really great. Like, can we do this work with 30,000 fewer people?
And what does that do, Alex? What does that do? Stock prices go up. And so
for UPS. Yes.
UPS. That's exactly why layoffs typically happen. Is it makes the CEO look good, because all of a sudden your company is more profitable, your stock price rises, and all of the investors are happy because you just laid off 30, which is kind of wild, right? You just laid off 30,000 people. It's like, not lives ruined, but could
job
be ruined. And you're like, great, it went up by 5%. The stock price, totally worth ruining these people's lives. But I think that's just the world that we've lived in for a very long time. This isn't new. But I guess we can't blame AI on the transportation part of this, but we can for a lot of the other things that we're seeing, especially obviously in the tech industry. And I was going to say just more validation, Alejandro, more validation of why you should start your own tech company. No, just joking. You should start your own unsexy business. This is exactly why you should do this, because I don't see a lot of robots cleaning cars, cleaning. Oh, great! Like, oh, you've never been through a car wash. But I mean, like car detailing, that like those types of businesses.
It's an interesting thing too, because I don't, it's one of those things where I don't purport to be a prophet. I would love to, they make great money, but I don't know if this is going to be like a lot of times before, like what we used to say was technology. So let's use the Industrial Revolution. I never thought I'd talk about the Industrial Revolution. So, the cotton gin, anyone else want to give me another, thing from the, from the Industrial Revolution?
It's not the Industrial Revolution, but I'll give you one.
Like,
One of the most profitable things, God, it was until like 1913 or 1906, whale blubber. Whale blubber was one of the biggest industries in the United States and maybe other countries. One of the biggest in the United States. Want to know why it's no longer around? And there's all these whaling villages that are all empty. Oil. They discovered how to refine oil, and they don't need to kill a bunch of whales to make candles.
I honestly thought it was going to be regulation, but so new technology finds a new way of making things work.
Exactly.
So,
yes.
But like normally what happens is in that conversation, people say, yes, this technology is going to displace these jobs, but it's going to create these new jobs.
Sure.
This is like one of those times, and maybe it's because I'm getting older. I'm just like, I don't know what the new jobs are going to be, because a lot of people are like, because you're going to, now the humans are going to have to like manage the AIs. I'm like, okay, but it's going to be a singular person who is going to be managing multiple AIs that are doing the jobs of dozens of people at like companies, and then at scale, like millions of people.
Yes.
And I see so many people putting that open to work thing, and that number's only been increasing, not just since AI. Like 2020 was a terrible time, and we've seen a lot of layoffs, but essentially people cut back on their workforce from 2020. And I would have to like look at numbers of the total workforce from 2020 to 2022. AI starts picking up speed, and they're not replacing those people. They're just actually getting rid of more people as time goes on. Like it says that we're at the lowest job openings since September of 2020. So available jobs are down by 900,000 since October, and we're at 6.5 million open jobs in December compared to September of 2020, which was the last time that it was that low.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm thinking like, this is we're at a 5-year low. Tech is seeing it get hit the hardest. I think this is just a good reminder of find something else to do. I do think it's hitting stuff that I do, Keystone and our team does, more so than anything else, because we've been able to build a pretty sustainable model for scaling our company without having to add a ton of new employees. And the only way I'm going to add new employees is when the amount of AI tools that we do use isn't satisfactory to the amount of time that our team members are working. Like, oh, sorry, I only have 40 hours in a week, so now we have to hire someone new, and we just haven't got there yet. So if I was going to prophesy, I would say, like, I think this is a much bigger deal than people are realizing. Blame tariffs, blame like whatever you want. I don't think that's the issue. I think what we're seeing is people are effectively, God, I'm going to get so much crap for this, effectively using slave labor in AI. So now it's just like costs are way down. Results are still similar for a lot of our people, for a lot of our clients, our businesses, etc. Why would we continue to have overhead of human headcount?
And think about let's just say in the tech industry, who are the people that keep their jobs? This is gonna sound really dumb, but I just think about this. Like, I bet you they didn't fire a lot of their janitorial staff. I bet they didn't fire a lot of their HVAC staff. I bet you they didn't fire a lot of their electricians and plumbers and anything, like anyone that's taking care of all those contracts. I bet you those are still in place. And why? Because we're not in a place where that is is possible right now. Like you still have, dude.
Physical needs.
I don't know what your thoughts are. I just can't see. I can't see a time in my lifetime. So let's just give it, 45 years. I'd be happy with that. What is that? 85, 86. I can't see in 40. Let's say 50. We'll go 50. I've been eating good. My blood work came back. Everything's great. Cholesterol's great. Everything's great. In 50 years, I can't see robots doing these things. And maybe that's just my narrow-mindedness, but have you seen them, right? You've seen like the robots that they bring out to like the CES. Is it CES? Is that what it is? Like CES or all these different organizations are like, we have this awesome robot. Look, it can walk upstairs, and it's like doing the
Both
robot
Aaron and I
upstairs.
do an imitation of a robot for those of you listening. That was what the silence was.
And so it's like I don't see that changing that quickly to where they're going to be precise enough to wire a residential home, like brand new house, do the plumbing for it. Like there's just, we're not going to be at that spot anytime soon. And like I said, at least not in our lifetime. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe in 30 years they will, but and guess what? You got a head start to start a business before they take over.
But the difference between AI versus robots is robots are going to need to be serviced.
Sure.
As well. So you have that aspect of it where it's like, all right, cool. Well, now I'm going to become the robot cleaner or the robot, like whatever. Like that will inevitably create new jobs. But like with what I'm seeing, like with AI right now, so I guess it proves your point even more on the unsexy business side of things, where it's like, as long as there are physical things, you are like, they're going to have to be taken care of and maintained.
Yes.
Whereas a lot of the stuff that I do, it's just like, I need an internet connection. It was funny, like as you were talking about, they still need like janitorial people. I'm seeing more and more people go to like us, where it's just a no office model, which is going to decrease the amount of space necessary for offices and for people to work. That being said, you still have a bunch of people who are forcing people to go to office, which is going to allow for janitorial people to and that's just one thing. That's janitorial service. There's tons and tons of other unsexy businesses that you can be taking advantage of. But obviously, this is like where I get into the like, am I just like Joe Rogan? Obviously, I wish I was hundreds of millions of dollars off of a podcast. Am I just Joe Rogan, like talking out of my ass? Where I'm just like saying stuff. I'm just like, I don't have to like hold myself accountable for it, but I'm going to hold myself accountable to this right now. I'm going to say this, like, jobs are not going to come back. And inevitably, as a population grows, but I want to just qualify that really quick. As a population grows, jobs just grow naturally because you have more and more people. Our population isn't growing, everybody. So the reason that I'm saying that we aren't going to see that much in growth is because we're having fewer kids. So there's going to be fewer jobs needed. And we're already seeing people start to cull away the total number of jobs. So if there's like, okay, great, we've cut our jobs by 25%. And guess what? The population's decreased by 50%. Well, that's not great. That's going to leave a lot of unemployed people because we only need to fill this 25% void. Maybe it increases by 5% or whatever. But my long-winded thing that I'm trying to land right here is like, I think that AI is radically changing how much people are going to, the number of people I know who like have started their own business who are like, and like what's awesome about the bubble, Aaron, the bubble for AI is not like the actual AI tools themselves. It's the people who are using them and suck at using them, but think they're really good at it.
Oh, gotcha.
So I think what's going to happen, and I've already seen this with one client, where they're like, yeah, this person does AI, they do this for us, but like, we're not making more money off of what they're doing. Like, yeah, because they suck at what they're doing. Like, essentially, if you cannot tie things back to revenue and like that type of success, you're going to lose clients like overall, which is great for us because we build great relationships with our clients. But that's the bubble that I see coming, where it's like all these people are like, oh, I can do things so easily with AI. It's like, so where's the results from this?
So do you mean like that people are starting to become too reliant on AI when it's not to a level where it needs to be? Is that what you're kind of talking about? Like
Yeah.
people are just like, I'm going to throw it in ChatGPT and here's what it is. And even though it's not right half of the time.
Or even people with super convoluted processes. It like at the end of the day, like what I'm starting to hear more and more is like people in 2023 started using AI more. Like if you're going to
Yeah,
do the adoption curve, I'd
sure.
say that was like early adopters. And
Yeah.
then you have I forget what the first one is, but early adopters started then everybody by 2024 was using it. And now you have your laggards, like the people who like was like, oh, this thing's stupid. Everyone by 2025
Yeah.
was using this thing. And so you have
Yes.
these people who have built out these super convoluted models that they think do well, but now people are starting to hold those people accountable. Like,
Yes.
okay, cool. Yes, you are able to generate. Content is
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
what most
Yeah.
people use it for. But like,
Yeah.
yes, you are able to generate 5,000 pieces of content for us in a year. We're not making more money. Like I was doing an audit for a client, or I was doing an audit for a potential client where I was like, I would just optimize these 30 pages over and over and over again as often as new information comes through. I don't think you
Sure.
need to create new content. These are the only pages that make you money.
Yeah.
And what a marketing person says, like, no, you need to like do like this awareness content and this thing and this thing and this thing. And like your client, your competitor is ranking for this. I'm like, yeah, congratulations. Your competitor is ranking for a college research paper topic. So essentially you've now created something for a college research paper, a college student to read and then use AI to copy to help write their paper. They're never going to become a customer of yours ever.
And
Focus
you
on your
know,
GD product, make that product good, and your website should only be answering questions that people have about your product and service. That's it. Like you don't have to do all the BS stuff anymore because the BS stuff is useless. Anyways, I could go off of this for like hours.
but I think I understand it too, as or at least from where I see the overconsumption of AI is. And maybe maybe we're gonna like talk ourselves into AI is gonna go away and people are gonna come back, but it's just like customer service. Like I see it all the time on you
How
go.
they hate it or they love it.
I hate it. I'll go to a website, like I'll go to Delta's website and I'm having an issue with the flight or whatever. I want to change something before I can just talk to someone. I mean, if you know where to call, yes, you can just call. But if like they really push the AI person on you and they almost never solve anything. This is going to be a hard podcast to title because it's like AI is going to ruin everything, and
But
but
also,
it does ruin everything. It ruin jobs, but also sucks. But yeah, so that's where I see it personally, where it's super annoying.
with your example though, I would ask you, do you think that the AI is doing the job for the hundreds of dum-dums that call, the thousands of dum-dums that call? Because
Maybe, but the problem is like even if it's an idiot calling, or an idiot that's just going straight, they're eventually going to have to call. Maybe it's like there's some way of like delaying that, so I don't know. And maybe there's some things that it can solve, but a lot of times it'll just like point you to like a website or a page on their website. And then I'm always just like, oh, that's right. I just need to talk to someone.
I'm thinking of
I'm
like
old
an
school.
example, like I don't know if this happens, but like someone's just like, what time is my flight? And
Oh,
obviously people of like a certain age, like, what
sure.
time is my flight? Like,
Yes.
how about you tell us what your flight number is? DL183. Your flight leaves at this time. You know what I mean? Like, I
No,
wonder if like,
the funny thing
did you have
about
to
that is
do
like,
that?
no, the funny thing about that is like, if that's what it was, you literally would have to pull up the email that has your flight time on it in order to give them that number. But you want to know what?
Good.
Yeah, I think you're right though. I think there is like a subset of people that does work for, and maybe okay. But I hope we don't go to a place where AI replaces all customer service stuff, unless where I proclaimed it's going to get a lot better. So maybe it'll get a lot better. But man, I'd be curious to know any of the listeners that have had to deal with what's their craziest AI experience customer service wise, because man, they're just, I always just want to talk to somebody. But you want to know what, dude? You want to know what I think this is actually for? This is my old man yelling at the clouds. I think this is for younger people who don't want to talk to anybody. Like this is
Sure.
this isn't even for the old person. This is for the young
Huh.
person. Just like I don't want to have to call someone and actually talk to them. I'm just going to do it all through chat. And so that's probably catering to that new what is it? What generation is that?
I'll
Generation
tell you what.
Alpha. How did they get
Alpha.
Alpha? How? How did they
Right.
get
I don't
Alpha?
get. It doesn't make any sense at all. Like X, I assume X was supposed to be Generation X, Generation Y, which I don't know. Does Y stand for 1,000?
I
And
don't
like
know.
it, like because like that was like, oh, because you're like the 2000 generation.
I
Like
don't know. I
at
don't
least
know,
like
dude.
and it's almost like, in Utah, how, and maybe it's in Idaho too, that everything is street numbered. Remember when they used to like give people names like, oh, the silent generation, the greatest generation, and then it's just like, all right, now we're just giving letters. Like what's that about?
Dude, don't.
Hopefully
No,
this is a call out video. I like Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z, Gen A.
This is turning into Aaron and Alex bitch about everything. I hate numbered streets. Like, just give me the goddamn name of the streets. Like, oh, I live off of 15th and 12 or whatever it is. Like, I just like the road
And then the
names.
people who are saying how stupid we are, like, I'll tell you what, you tell me like, hey, like obviously like this is, maybe I shouldn't say those words, but like, hey, off of White Rock. I'm like, I know exactly what you're talking about. Off of
Yes.
White Rock. Okay,
Yes.
cool. El Dorado Hills, or is it more like into the it's not Placer County, into Amador County
Yes.
section
Right.
of that road. But
Right.
but bringing it back to the thing that you just brought up, the younger generation thing, and going and tying this back into like the layoffs as like a whole,
Yeah.
and why unsexy businesses are awesome. If anyone from Generation Alpha is listening to this, you are going to be incredibly invaluable if you can have conversations with people. I know Aaron has said this before. It's like, you just can't be a weirdo. As long as you
Yes.
can have a normal conversation with people and then go and do the service moderately well, you're going to be successful.
Dude,
that isn't it. And I think that's what is happening here. It's like, oh, these kids don't want to talk anyways. And most of what we want people to do is client face in some way, or even interact with their coworkers. Why are we going to open jobs to these people?
What was I just bitching about? Not being able to talk to someone. So
right.
We need people that are able to talk. We need like customer service agents who can talk to people, not just I can type and that's it. I don't want to talk to anyone. Like, that is going to be, I think that's still going to be a need, unless they really figure it out on the AI end of it. But it's funny, dude. Like, you'll notice this too. Like, when you're talking to like the younger generation, like if I'm talking like teenagers or whatever, like even like I coach basketball. And so my daughter is 10 years old. It's interesting to see the ones, like the kids that are just like good at talking to adults, good at doing that. I'm always like, that person will probably be okay. And that's just not like the all-time indicator they're going to be successful or not. But even like, like with friends' kids and stuff like that, just like when you can talk to teenagers and they can like normally talk to you, I've never heard of any of my friends' kids having that are good at talking to adults ever have a problem with finding jobs, ever. Because how do you get a job? Yeah, you have to submit an application, but then you have to have an interview. If you can't talk, like not be a weirdo, and you actually have a personality, you are going to set yourself so far apart from anyone that's applying for that job. And it was with adults too. I mean, you and I have done plenty of interviews where you're just like, oh my gosh, dude, have you ever done an interview before? Like, can you just engage with me and have some sort of repartee?
Rapport.
Yeah,
especially for like 30 minutes usually, or shorter.
Yes.
Like,
yes,
this isn't like 4 hours you have to entertain me and I'm just sitting here and you're doing stand up for me. It's like literally we're just talking back and forth.
If it was good stand up, I would hire you, because I'd be impressed.
I wouldn't be mad.
Unless it sucked. But yeah, but I mean, I think trying to always, because we like to go down different paths. It's an all-encompassing podcast where we talk about lots of different things that can help you in your business journey. But just as far as like how that the job report that you were talking about, Alex, in the beginning, and how you can set yourself up for success, whether it be like, whether you don't want to start your own business, which I just highly suggest you do. The example we use with UPS, they laid off 30,000 people. Do you think the CEO lost a minute of
Minute of
sleep
sleep. Yeah.
because of that? No, they lost no sleep over it. Like, companies don't care about you. You're just a body. You're just, as long as you're doing the bare minimum to stick around, that's what's keeping you there until their profit margin isn't looking good and their shareholders aren't happy and the board of directors aren't happy, and then they say, let's start laying people off. And you could be doing an amazing job and they'll still lay your ass off. Like, this is the real way that you can take control of your future, is by building your own thing. And that's what we've been about for the past 2 years of doing Unsexy Businessmen, about empowering people to be able to start their own business and take control of their future and not have to rely on the compassion of whatever company you're working for.
Man, I spoke at a university yesterday,
Mhm.
and I'm always I always start off with this question: are you smarter than I am? And no one ever raises their hand. And then we go through the rigmarole of like, yes, you are. In many ways. In many
Sure.
ways, you're going to be much more intelligent than I am. Whenever anyone asks that question, you should always raise your hand. If Elon Musk asks it, you know, yes, I am smarter at handling social situations than you are, Elon. Hopefully we don't get any hate, like, because I know anyways, he came out as having Asperger's or whatever it was. Or no, it was
Oh,
autism. So it's like, oh, well, he has autism. Like, doesn't give you the right to be an asshole. Anyways,
yeah.
um, you're always going to be smarter than someone in some way. So you always raise your hand to that. And then talking with them, the very last thing I do is I say,
You're
who
wrong. I
here
am smarter than you.
who here's who here has friends, because they're like seniors in college, like who
Sure.
here who has friends who've already gotten jobs? A lot of people raise hands, like, who here does that make nervous? And they always raise hands. I'm like, dude, if you're a good person, you are going to figure out a way to make things work in your life. So
Mhm.
like, I don't want this like layoff data that we're going over to be like super terrifying. Like, nobody's going to have jobs. Like, do you know how many pieces of shit are out there who are still employed or unemployed who you never have to worry about? Hundreds of thousands, if not
Millions.
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 So don't be afraid. Try something new, start learning skills. Like, if you want to stay in whatever business or industry you're in, like, do that. If you want to work as a W-2, do that.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid. You'll find a job. But I highly recommend doing your own thing, because long term, you're never, like, to Aaron's point, you they're not losing sleep over losing you. Do you think anyone who like fired me like loses sleep over or even thinks about me at this point anymore? No, they don't. They don't care. Like, they've moved on with their lives and they're like doing their next thing. You gotta take care of you. End of rant.
The reason I was laughing is because you're like, "You wanna know how many pieces of shit?" And I thought you're gonna turn this into a business opportunity, like, that could be picked up and turned into a business? Like, dog picking up dog shit. Yeah, it's a great, there's people that make lots of money doing that. But no. Yeah, no, I think that's, when it comes down to it, that's all this is take control of your life. I have too many friends that have been laid off in their jobs where they were, and don't think because you're in like a higher management position you're off the chopping block. Like, I had a friend who was in higher upper management that got let go from a multi-billion-dollar company. You just don't know. And and they can, like, I don't know, dude. Like, they can ship you around. They could just tell you, you want to keep this job. Well, guess what? You're moving to Minneapolis, or you're moving to Memphis, or you're moving wherever. Like, uh, do you have the control to be like, I'm not going to move there? Like, or like, I don't know. It's just, that not having that control would be so terrifying to me. In this economy. And again, yeah, you could still be an awesome worker and have a good personality and do what you got to do. You could do all the right things, like you were saying, Alex, and find a job and have a job. But all it takes is one downturn, one COVID, to all of a sudden you don't have a job anymore. So it's not to freak people out. It's more of just like a thought experiment of like, how would that feel in order to be able to know that the only one that could fire you are your customers, as opposed to just some random boss or some
Arbitrary.
random that you could have made an off the cuff comment that they remembered from 4 years ago, and when they start talking about who's on the chopping block, your name gets brought up immediately. I don't know. It's just that's where we're coming from. Like we're just trying to help you out. We're just trying to help you out.
And the thing I tell to every single person who has ever been laid off, and I was their first call, is you're going to be fine. And then all of them ended up fine.
Mhm.
And then the next person that calls me, I go, hey, I've talked to 7 people who've been laid off and ended up fine. You're also going to be fine.
Yeah.
Like there's
Yeah.
always something for good people. And I try to associate primarily with good people.
Mhm.
So it's very rare. I honestly, do you know, this is a weird question. Do you know anyone who has been without work for longer than 6 months in your life? I can think of people, but they were enjoying unemployment was the reason that they did it. There's like, I make so much money in unemployment, it doesn't make sense for me to work again.
The one person that I can think of, I don't know if it was 6 months, it might have been right out there, maybe a little longer, was because he was in a high position that was paying a lot of money, and it was a tech position, and tech positions are very, very, very hard to get. When everyone's getting laid off, everyone's trying to find new jobs. And so that was the only one. He's a really good guy, and he was able to but he did figure it out. To your point, he did figure it out. But yeah, it can be terrifying.
So, but what's interesting is you said like near like that 6-month mark, like is
Sure.
somewhere around there. Okay.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yep.
I honestly, the only people I can think of are one person who's like a jackass who sucks at his job. And I'm just like, I'm not surprised that I'm happy, in fact, that you're not finding a job. You shouldn't be a designer. You should go do something else.
Sure.
Don't worry. He doesn't listen to the podcast. And then the other person was essentially just collecting unemployment because of how much money they were making off of it. So so the reason that I asked that question is another question that I ask people sometimes, and they're always like, what the hell kind of question is that? I was like, do you know anyone who lives on the street? They go, and most people say no. And I go, exactly. Like you're going to be fine. You're not going to end up on the street. Like just keep going.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
Yes. I agree.
So layoffs, as much as I think there's going to be more, and I think there are going to be fewer and fewer jobs, there will be opportunities. It's just not going to be the opportunities that maybe you went to college for or that you had previously.
Sure. Yeah. And that pay is high. Like that's another thing too.
Oh, why'd you say that? I was about to like wrap up, and that just like sparked like another thought. Somebody was like, hey, one of my college students is looking for a job. And so far they haven't had any luck with anything. And then someone put in the comments, like, have they lowered like their salary, their asking salary? Then the person was like, well, their current salary is $0. So whatever. I'm like, no. You didn't understand that person's question. That person's question was, are you getting job offers for $30,000 a year? And like, fuck that.
Yeah.
40,000, 50,000, like whatever the number is. And you're just saying, no, I don't want to do that. Like there are going to be those opportunities that come along, and you have to be careful with opportunities you take, but sometimes just keep your options open.
I agree.
And sometimes just take the opportunity when like you have to like put food on the table. It's just like, all right, cool. I will be in the process of finding something else.
Yeah,
People
exactly.
Suck. That was a LinkedIn one. And it's like this guy who's like a pretty like well-known and respected professor. I'm just like, please
like
stop respecting him.
He's not putting on his job applications willing to work for $0. Like, come on, dude.
Right.
Yeah. Come on.
All right. Well, let's switch on over to top 10.
It's the top 10.
We have a great top 10 list today. It pairs well with our conversation because top 10 list of the day, the top 10 menu items on Taco Bell. Where you might be working after you get laid off. But yes. So this is any item. That's the only hint I'm going to get. It's any item that is on Taco Bell's thing.
I assume
Any item.
top meaning top purchase, not like top rated.
Yes.
Like it's the most purchased thing.
The most purchased. Yep.
Okay. Got it. Like the first one that comes to mind, and I hope that you'll give me some grace on this one, is nacho cheese sauce.
Oh man, it's funny. Because I do. It's not on.
Damn
No,
it.
that is not. But
there's
but I respect it.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you just? Yeah, I guess you can just buy a side of that. Yeah.
God bless it. Cheesy bean and rice burrito. This is not good.
Nope.
Okay. Let's cheesy gordita crunch.
That is number 2, cheesy gordita crunch. Good job, Alejandro.
This is going to be really hard. Because I'm like doing my order in my head. I'm just like, nobody gets that all the time.
No one gets the onion burrito.
Cheesy gordita crunch. God, like bean burrito?
No.
Oh my gosh, Jesus. We're going to be giving away a free. I've only gotten one so far, right?
A free car.
All right, so I need to get 4 more, and I have 6 guesses. Okay. God, I really don't like a Doritos Locos taco.
There you go, Alex. Number 7.
Stupid. There's like no way. Like I'm gonna call really the Doritos Locos taco. All right, so now I get what the game is. I was
listening to a podcast where the guy was saying it was his number one thing there, and I was like, "Have you had it?"
Doritos Locos taco. Okay,
doesn't it taste like Doritos?
It's all of like their specialty items that I'm like, okay, so cheesy gordita crunch. What's that one thing? I can't think of the name of it. It's like round, has stuff stuffed inside it.
A burrito?
No,
I know.
Maybe is that the cheesy gordita crunch? No.
No. Are you thinking of something else? If you could tell me the other specific thing that's inside of it.
I don't think it's cheating for me to look at the menu, is it?
No.
Because I need to like know the name of them.
No.
Crunchwrap.
Yeah. Yes.
Crunchwrap.
The thing I was looking for is the tostada. That's what I was the little thing. That is correct. That is number 3. I actually thought would be closer.
Okay, this is gonna be like see
I would have to look at the menu too, because I only know like 5 menu items of Taco Bell.
Chalupa.
Yes, I'll give that to you. The Chalupa Supreme.
I'll say the Chalupa. Okay, that's what I would have said. Like they have multiple chalupas, but I'm like, I did the whatchamacallit, the Family Feud. The Family Feud.
Yep.
Because this next one, wait a second. Now I'm on a heater. I just want to make sure I have 2 more guesses. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 3 more guesses. Fantastic. I'm gonna go with like a soft taco.
No.
Okay. Fine. I still have 3 more guesses, or 2 more guesses. Do people get this? The Mexican pizza?
That is number 9.
No
Don't you remember the outrage when they took it off? There was. I
don't know why this is blowing my mind.
Outrage.
I know. So now I have 5. I got the cheesy gordita crunch, Locos taco, Crunchwrap, Chalupa Mexican. I'm gonna guess one more. Like I was gonna guess like the regular taco.
Well, that would be. I will give you that guess back because you talk about the crunchy taco.
Yeah.
No.
So it is also like it's a quesadilla. Like you have like their quesadillas probably going to be on there.
All right. So do you have one more guess?
You're about to tell me.
Do you have? Was that your last guess? All right.
Yeah.
So number 10 is the cheesy fiesta potatoes.
Oh my
Number 9 was the Mexican pizza. Number 8, nacho fries. Number 7, Doritos Locos Tacos. Number 6, the beefy 5-layer burrito, which is delicious. Number 5, Chalupa Supreme. Number 4, the quesarito. Oh, that one is good. I like that one.
Huh.
Have you ever had it? It's good.
Yeah. So is this actually, can I ask a question? I know you're going through it, right? Was this like 2025?
This was, last year's number ones. I guess that would be fun to like all time, but they would have like
Well,
if they would have had like pinto beans or like the pinto bean and rice.
the
or
only
whatever.
reason I asked that is because so like the quesarito comes and goes. I don't think they always have it. And so like nacho fries was one I was like, nacho fries, they don't have it all the time, but maybe because it's limited, like people buy a shiz ton of it. Anyways, keep going.
Yes. What did I have? The quesarito. The 3 was Crunchwrap Supreme. Number 2, Cheesy Gordita Crunch. And this is why I said anything on the menu. Number 1, Baja Blast.
I would have never guessed that.
I
would
would
have never guessed that.
I never would have guessed that because you think Taco Bell, I think food.
Like for sure, I would not have done quesarito. I like nacho fries. I like when I saw it on the menu, I'm like, I could say that, but like that's like sometimes there, sometimes not. And then I would have never said Baja.
I would have said the Crunchwrap Supreme, the Beefy Five Layer Burrito, the Doritos Locos Tacos, Mexican Pizza, and I would have been stuck. I don't know if I would have got the 5th one, but
I don't even know why I'm mad. I got 5. Like what am I mad about over here?
Go Alejandro.
I was thinking. I remember exactly where I was driving in Sacramento as I had this thought. I was like, we should probably up it to like 6. It's like 5 is like kind of like because I wouldn't have got it on this one, but I would have like anyways. But that's for another day.
That's another day, and that's another episode of Top 10.
Top 10. All right. Let's switch over to some listener submitted emails. I have one long one and one short one that's going to have a short answer.
Okay.
So we will do the short one first.
Okay.
Hey, Alex and Aaron. What do you guys use for payroll? Gusto. We use gusto.com. Happy to help you. I was like, it's fantastic. It's about $45 a month. That's what we use. Go use that.
I thought this was the long one.
No, that was the short one. We'll do the long one next. But anything to add? Like I was like, this is a great question. Fantastic question. Like I got it from a friend, and I was like, I bet you people would want to know.
Yeah.
And then I went on Reddit, and I was like, yes, people do want to know.
Oh well, my other answer to that would be Gusto. So whether you want to use Gusto or Gusto, look it up.
Proper pronunciation. I honestly don't know.
I don't know.
I use them interchangeably.
I call it Gusto, but I just wonder if someone would be like, I was trying to find Goo sto Gusto. So Gusto, same thing.
The longer one. This is very long. From Chris.
Hey, Chris.
I own a small commercial landscaping and snow removal company in the upper Midwest. We've been around for 4 years and currently operate 3 trucks, 5 full-time employees, and a few seasonal guys in the winter. Last year, we did $601,000 in revenue, but here's the part that keeps me up at night. One property management company accounts for 62% of that. They have 14 commercial properties. They pay on time, and they're not a problem. The margins are decent. If I lost them, I'd need to lay off at least 2 employees immediately. I know intellectually this is risky, but practically they keep us busy year-round. They justify owning the equipment. They justify they're the reason we can offer consistent hours. I've tried to pick up more residential, but it's slower, higher touch, and honestly a pain compared to commercial. Yep. At what point does anchor client become single point of failure? Should I be actively trying to replace this revenue, even if it lowers margins short term, or is it smarter to move to lock this client in harder with longer contracts and pricing adjustments?
I would do both. I would lock them into a longer contract. If you have that type of relationship where that's not going to be like, well, we're going to put this out for bid then. If you have a good relationship, I would lock it down. But that was what I with Honestly Clean, like our giant client, I always wanted to have enough business besides them that if something happened, yes, you're going to have to, lay some people off, and that does suck, but it's not going to devastate your business as far as, you go out of business. You should always be growing. This is something that Alex and I talk about all the time. You should always be growing your business. And yes, focus on commercial clients. If that's not working, then yeah, add a service where you're focusing on residential stuff. Sure, it's annoying, but every single large landscaping company in my city, does both. They have all their little clients that they take care of, and then they have all of their commercial ones. The nice thing about having a bunch of residential ones as well, you start meeting business owners who own businesses, and a lot of times they might need your service for their business. So that's another benefit of having residential, is it leads to more contracts. So that's we found that a lot when we'd be doing like carpet cleaning at a random house, and the guy owned a call center or owned a whatever, and we're like, hey, we'd love to give you a bid on cleaning your office space. And because he liked us because we did a good job at his house, we almost always got it, because relationships are important. So that would be my advice. Always be growing, focus on growing outside of that. What was it? $360,000 you're making off of that one client. Try and make sure you're at least, just always be growing. I was gonna say at least match what you're making with that one, but you want to make it so that client is 10% of what you're making as opposed to 60%. I know that sounds obvious, but that's what you got to do.
Yeah. And just based on the simple fact that you're writing an email leads me to believe that you do want to grow and that this is causing you anxiety. So what Aaron said is the answer. I don't have much to add to it besides, like you're concerned about this. And so I think you already like know what the answer is, but I will ask you one question. Like, are you happy like with what you're making? And you're just like, I just don't really want to grow this thing much more. I'm assuming that you want to grow, but if you're just like, I'm kind of happy with where I'm at, like maybe you just start reducing staff naturally. Like you're naturally going to have people who are going to quit or something like that. The reason that I'm saying that is if you're just like, I'm just building a lifestyle brand for myself, not something that I want to build into an empire, that could be a route for you. But once again, my guess is you probably want to grow and you are looking for like new opportunities, or else you wouldn't be writing into us, and then follow what Aaron said. But
Yeah.
it really just comes
Yes.
down to getting a little uncomfortable.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Be comfortable with being uncomfortable. I just made that up. Aaron quote. I made it up.
And thank you for the emails today. If you want to have your questions answered, please email unsexybusinessmen@gmail.com and we will get those taken care of for you. And everyone have a wonderful rest of the week. Talk to you later. Thank you for listening to the Unsexy Businessmen. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review. Now go get to work.